What if the biggest surprise of Raw didn't happen in the ring, but behind the curtain? Picture this: CM Punk's been feuding with Roman Reigns for weeks, tensions running hotter than ever, and the tribal chief finally gets what he's been asking for. But after Roman walks away victorious, after the dust settles and the crowd's still roaring, something completely unexpected goes down backstage that changes everything we thought we knew about what comes next. The Rock stepping out of the shadows to confront CM Punk after he's beaten down and vulnerable. That's the kind of moment that makes fans lose their minds. That's the moment that makes you immediately reach for your phone and text everyone who watches wrestling because you have to process what you just saw right now. And that's exactly what makes this such a compelling angle to break down. Let's talk about why this works on every single level. First, you've got to understand the psychological foundation of what's happening here. CM Punk spent years building credibility as the guy who doesn't back down, the fighter who stands against the odds, the voice of the voiceless. He's taken on some of the biggest names in the company and walked in with his head high. But when you face Roman Reigns inside that ring, you're facing a man who's been positioned at the absolute apex of professional wrestling. The tribal chief isn't just another opponent. He's the measuring stick. He's the guy who's beaten legends. So when Roman gets his victory, that's not just a wrestling match result. That's a statement. Now here's where it gets interesting from a storytelling perspective. In wrestling, victory alone isn't always enough. Sometimes the story demands something more visceral, something more personal. Sometimes after you've made your statement in the ring, you need to make sure the message gets delivered loud and clear. That's traditionally where follow-up assaults come in, where championships change hands, where the next chapter gets written. But what if instead of any of that, something completely different happens? What if the biggest legend who ever stepped between those ropes, someone who hasn't been seen in Raw in a long time, emerges at the exact moment when CM Punk is at his most vulnerable? The Rock showing up backstage after a Roman Reigns incident changes the entire complexion of not one but potentially two different storyline directions. Because now you're not just dealing with the aftermath of a Roman match. You're introducing a wildcard that nobody saw coming. You're creating a situation where alliances matter, where history matters, where the internet explodes trying to figure out what happens next. Think about the psychology from CM Punk's perspective. He's just had a brutal encounter with Roman Reigns. His body's worn down. His confidence, while never completely shaken, has definitely taken some damage. And in that moment, in that vulnerable state, The Rock appears. Is this a moment of salvation? Is someone coming to help? Or is this another obstacle, another legend stepping in to remind CM Punk of his place? The uncertainty alone is worth its weight in gold from a storytelling perspective. Because wrestling fans, they're smart. They immediately start thinking about the possibilities. Does The Rock's appearance signal that he's taking CM Punk's side? Is there some mutual respect there, some connection that brings them together against a common enemy? Or is The Rock coming to deal with his own unfinished business? Maybe it's more complicated than simple Team UPS. Maybe The Rock and CM Punk have history that viewers haven't fully explored yet. Maybe this backstage moment is the beginning of something that builds toward a confrontation that nobody expected but everyone wants to see. From Roman Reigns' perspective, this changes everything too. You've got a guy who's been positioned as basically unstoppable. He's been the guy who silences people, who puts people away, who gets the final word. But now there's The Rock in the equation. Now there's someone whose aura, whose presence, whose legacy is comparable to what Roman Reigns has built for himself. Suddenly the landscape shifts. Suddenly you've got a dynamic where even Roman might have to take pause. Here's what makes this angle genuinely beautiful from a wrestling psychology standpoint. It's not about immediate physical confrontation. It's not about someone getting beaten down to start a feud or someone running in to interfere with the match. It's about presence. It's about the message that comes from being there, from being noticed, from showing up at the exact right moment and the exact right time. That's advanced storytelling. That's the kind of thing that elevates a good wrestling angle into something special. When you're building toward major wrestling narratives, you want layers. You want multiple ways the story can develop. You want fans discussing possibilities instead of feeling like they know exactly what's coming next. A Rock appearance, especially in this context, creates that perfect storm of uncertainty. Does it lead to a triple threat? Does it create some kind of alliance? Does it put The Rock on a collision course with Roman Reigns? Does it elevate CM Punk in ways nobody expected? Every single one of those possibilities is worth exploring, and that's what makes this such powerful storytelling material. The beauty of this kind of moment is that it validates both the wrestler who won and the wrestler who lost. Roman Reigns gets credit for being the force strong enough to overcome CM Punk. But CM Punk doesn't get buried because his loss immediately gets contextualized by something bigger, something involving one of the greatest of all time. It's the kind of booking that protects both guys while moving the story forward in an exciting new direction. So if this scenario actually unfolded, what would you want to see happen next? Would you want to see The Rock and CM Punk team up against Roman Reigns and the Bloodline? Would you want to see all three men in some kind of multi-person match at the next major event? Would you want to see The Rock take on Roman one-on-one while CM Punk gets his revenge elsewhere? Or is there some completely different direction you think would be even better? That's what I want to know. Head down to the comments section and break down exactly how you'd want to see this play out. What's the next chapter of this story supposed to look like from your perspective? Do you think The Rock and CM Punk can work together, or would you rather see them clash? And most importantly, does bringing The Rock back into the main event picture change how you see Roman Reigns and everything he's been building? Make sure you're subscribed to WWE Express because we're constantly breaking down the psychology behind wrestling's biggest moments, analyzing the storytelling, and celebrating what makes professional wrestling absolutely incredible. Drop a like if this angle got you excited. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on WWE Express.